Alrighty, I will hereby call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the Sunderland Selectboard. The time is 6:33 p.m. Our first order of business is going to be to approve the minutes of our last Selectboard meeting from 4/7/25. Do I hear a motion?
I motion we approve the minutes from 4/7/25.
Second.
Alrighty, we have a motion made and seconded to approve the minutes from our last meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, 3-0. Thank you. Alrighty, under new business, our first order is the fire chief's grant. My understanding is that this is the second year of a grant that the fire chief received for equipment for the fire department.
Yes, over $5,800.
Wonderful.
They're going to get another set of turnout gear.
That is great news.
Yes.
I remember the chief coming in last year to tell us about the great news on that, and that is wonderful. Every penny that they're able to get in grants is less that comes out of the budget, so that is wonderful news. Do you need anything other than just a motion to accept that grant, or?
No, the signatures on the documents, which you've taken care of, so we just need to get it back to the chief, and Sue will send it out.
Alrighty. I would entertain a motion to accept this grant and send it on its way.
I make a motion we accept the fire department grant.
Second.
Alright, we have a motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, 3-0. Alrighty, next up under new business, we'll be reviewing the open issues for the annual town meeting. And I see we have our town meeting warrant in front of us. Any open issues we need to discuss?
We do, so we'll be holding it at the school. We are using Dogwood Audio, which graciously, I was unaware, I'm starting to learn my responsibilities around town meeting. And so Jonathan kindly alerted me to that one, and we got them secured in time. So we will have audio at the elementary school. Mel will be in charge of setup, from what I understand. She has been preparing all the documents, making copies of all the things that you have reviewed and signed off on, like the capital stabilization, the details of the budget. There's a couple handouts to back up the FERCog change to their charter. Wendy felt it best, and I agreed that we have the text with the strikeouts and the new text, so people can review the actual changes.
Yep.
And then there's another handout that's an overview of why they're making these changes. I think the Finance Committee is preparing a presentation. Dylan Corpita has written a couple a couple reports, the highlights of the budget. So I think he's going to present that, and Joe might have a few words to share. The two of them will tag team. Val is the chair of the Finance Committee, Val Boris, but she will not be able to attend the meeting. So Dylan and Joe will take the lead in answering questions, as
Great.
Ally's only been to 3 meetings.
Yep.
So.
Question for you on that. Do you know, and maybe this is a question that we have to ask them, do you know if they're planning on including any information about what happened with the capital stabilization override from last year in their presentation?
I haven't read through to see that.
Okay.
I'll double check what he sent.
I want to know which one of us is talking about it and how we plan on handling that, because I don't want to just not mention anything in general.
I think you really should take the lead, or as the chair of the capital stabilization, and you have a very solid handle on the issue.
Okay. I didn't want to step on the finance committee's toes if they were already planning on including that in their presentation. So I might reach out to them, or
Okay.
have you reach out to them and
Yeah,
just
I'll double
confirm
check
that.
with them.
Again, I don't want to step on any toes there, but I want to make sure that that's covered, because it's going to be not only a vital part of the picture of our thing, but also important for people in town to be aware of.
Yes.
Of course, we do that maybe when we hit question 3 for the budget.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
And the capital stabilization is 4. So would you do the capital stabilization with the budget, or?
Usually we do the budget and then we'll do the capital,
Okay.
like the separate one, yeah.
Yeah, I might do it either right between 3 and 4, like finish up the budget and say, like, as we move into capital stabilization, I'd like to give some groundwork and, give you some picture so that people understand, you know, where we came from and whatnot. I think that might make the most sense to have it be a preamble to 4. All right, so I will prepare something for that, make sure I'm prepared, but do please check with the finance committee, because if they're already planning on covering it, I don't need to, you know.
Don't need to beat the dead horse.
When would they speak? Would they speak at the beginning? When would they fit into this?
I would assume before Article 3 at some point.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I can even mention too, because we've got a thing in there where normally we'll say, you know, we'll introduce the chair, like in this case Val, but, you know, I can mention Val's out, and then I can introduce, you know, I can say, you know, you guys want to introduce yourselves, and then I can mention that they've got a presentation with it, when we get to that question.
Yeah, no, I like that.
You know?
All right. That was just my only question there is on that. So they're gonna have their presentation. We'll be prepared to answer questions on any of these articles if the public has them. Any other open issues or anything else we want to go over on the town meeting warrant?
I think we covered everything pretty well last week. There have not been changes. It was just making sure everything was,
Yep.
no duplicated numbers and things like that.
Believe me, I want this to be a simple process. I want us to be done with this. I don't want to have 1,000 things. It's just making sure we're all good there. But it sounds like we are in great shape. Thank you again, Becky, and please pass our thanks on to Mel for all the hard work. I know that this was a lot to get this done, especially being your first year in town and jumping in so late into the year to do so. So just want to make sure we thank you on that. So let's move on from that to the FCAT charter updates.
This is just a brief note so that you all are aware. Jonathan, at some point, we were talking about their bylaws.
I'm going through our bylaws and rewriting them and updating them.
Great.
And in that discussion, one piece I wanted you guys to think about, it won't happen probably for at least a year, but the charter does say that each member town should have representation from the select board. And the current board has no select board representation, is that true? Yeah.
Okay.
So if that is not changed, they'll be coming back and looking for a representative to that.
And how often are those meetings?
They're bi-monthly.
Okay.
So that's like SCEMS and the South County Senior Center, they all have a representative from each
Okay.
town, from the select board, and I think we should as well.
No, that makes total sense to me
Yeah.
also.
That way
Yeah,
we're getting representation, we know what the towns also want to do.
And where do you hold those meetings?
Right now, they're hybrid, so they're online. We also hold them in their office.
Okay.
What's the schedule?
What's that?
What day and night do they change? Is it one, do you have it fixed?
We do them on either Tuesday or Wednesday. I have to get back to you on that. We've been doing them on Wednesdays, I find.
Okay.
yeah.
Just, because it's like I do South County EMS on Thursdays, so if you were gonna say it was Thursdays, I was gonna go, well,
You're off the hook.
I'm gonna be presenting a draft of the stuff to the board on the May board meeting and saying this is what we need to do, and then moving forward.
Okay.
Because they haven't been updated since 2011.
Yeah, once that meeting happens and everything is
They
settled.
reference technology we don't even use anymore, so.
Yeah.
They don't even reference Zoom or anything, they reference an old location and everything, just, it's time to,
update them.
yes.
Things like that should be updated probably once a decade at the least. So, once that's all settled, let us know, assuming that everything is still the same, where they want to have select board representation, we'll add that to an agenda item, and the three of us can discuss which one of us has the capacity to take that on. And yes, I agree that makes lots of sense. Any discussion from the board about that?
Nope, I think it's perfectly reasonable.
Yep, makes sense to me. Alrighty, that's all our new business, nice and easy. Under old business, first we have select board updates. I don't have anything on my end. Crystal, do you have anything?
Had a South County EMS meeting, which was a continuation of a previous meeting. Went over the promotion policy again. They're gonna be offering the test. They only had one successful candidate that actually passed the test, but they don't feel like that candidate is is able to be promoted, so they're gonna offer the test again and hopefully get a larger pool of people who are passing the test.
I got one, I got a couple. Well, Board of Oversight for South County Senior is Thursday. We're looking at changing some bylaws and some, arrange ourselves. I'll have more to say on it because I haven't really gone through it. It's changed a little bit, but I've got a new update draft that we'll be talking about on Thursday. The second thing is, we've gotten some draft plans for the feasibility study for the 116 shared use. I think I've got 5. They've broken it up into 6 pieces. I've got 5 of those. I'll be sharing them around. I think I want to go before the CPA board. I'm going to reach out to them to do a presentation there. I want to do something here. I just want to get through budget. So we'll have something on that, so we can all take a look at it. I'm waiting for the 6th piece, which is the most important one, which is through here over to the bridge. So that'll be coming in. I'll probably share along the 5 pieces that I do have with lots of folks. So, they'll get it to the CPA, get it to Concom, get it to,
What side of the road did they go for?
I think it's on the opposite side from the restaurant. So the south, I
The
guess.
opposite side of the restaurant.
No, I'm sorry. That would be the north side, north
What
side.
restaurant?
So it's on the opposite side from the school.
Okay, so it's
From the
on
Soul,
the
it's on the other
side.
side of the
Oh,
Soul.
barbecue side.
Yeah,
School
Bub's
Street
Barbecue
side.
side. Bub's Barbecue.
Okay.
So
No, I just
that would be
wondered, like-
north and kind of east.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, I knew there was some type of Bull Hill Road
Yep,
intersection.
Yep. So you'll see all those as a
Yeah.
draft, and welcome any
Nice.
comments, and anybody else, we'll share them around, so get
Yep.
some good feedback.
Wonderful.
That's it for right now.
Thank you.
So, and just out of curiosity, and I don't want to
Yep.
get too deep into it, but was it broken out into 6 pieces? Because those would be like, you do piece 1, piece 2,
It's-
piece
I
3,
think-
or is it?
It's mainly sheets. I mean, they
Okay.
only show so much on the sheet, but they
All right.
have broken into the pieces because we could certainly, take those and do, we could focus
Yes.
on 1 or 2. And
Yeah, because it
Instead of-
obviously couldn't be, it would be difficult to do that start to finish
Of course,
project
of course.
overnight. But,
So more to come.
yeah, great. I'm
One-
excited about
One thing I forgot to mention, so I do actually have one thing to mention. The town and the other towns in the region, Frontier region, did settle the contract negotiations with the teachers union and
Oh, my goodness.
the structural assistance unions. So that will be wrapping up very soon. More details to follow. All right, I think that's everything for select board updates. For town administrator updates, Becky?
The sick bank has risen to an urgent state. We again, for the second time, I guess, since we've adjusted the policy, have somebody that would like, who will be putting in an application probably early next week.
To use time or who wants to add their time?
To use time.
Okay.
As I think I know Crystal's aware, but there are there's problems in the policy where we've already maxed out the number of hours, and new people coming in, like myself, have not been able to join the program. So I'm gonna dig into that a bit and try to see what policy changes might be simple and effective, and bring that to the select board at our next meeting on the 28th, because of the urgency of the situation.
I remember we had talked about that, I want to say last year around
Yep.
this time. And I feel like we had.
I thought we came to a
Yeah,
resolution.
I thought we'd
on
come to a
it.
resolution
You
where we
think?
had decided something along the lines of like, we allowed new people to come in, but like older hours would still expire, so that the cap didn't go up, but people were still allowed to, because if it's already full, even the people already in it can't add new hours, their hours are just going away. So effectively, we would allow people to some of those older hours would expire, and we would allow new people to come in to be part of the overall picture. I think that's what we decided, and I feel like we had even voted on that like a year ago,
Yeah,
but
I
So
think-
I'll check select board minutes
Yeah.
for that, because that was the same feedback I got from a couple other members, Mike and sorry, and George, that they thought they had, that Jeff had brought this forward to the select board already.
Yes.
But, so I'm gonna dig and see what I can find. And if it's already been voted, then we can move ahead on what was voted. But if it hasn't been voted, I'll bring it back.
Yeah, and if not, if it hasn't been voted for some reason, then we can get on that ASAP on next Monday and get something going on that so we can get that working. Because that's the whole point of that, is not for it to be a longevity reward for a handful of long-time employees. It's for it to be for the use of all town employees, and so
Right,
it's just
on an
failure of the
emergency
policy.
basis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a failure of the policy, really, is what it is. So we need to fix that. Yeah, let me know if you have trouble finding it in the
Okay.
minutes. I'll try to remember more specifically when that was.
And, Crystal, would it be okay if I run it by you and see it, because you'll probably remember once you see it, if I found the right thing,
Yep,
that would be great.
wonderful. Thank you, Crystal.
So that's,
Absolutely.
those are my updates for today.
Excellent. We don't have any correspondence. I don't see anyone online or in our waiting room. We do have our moderator, David Papers, here today. Do you have anything for us, David, or just paying attention and
Yep, just, like to check in when we get close to the meeting. Yeah.
absorb it through osmosis? Yep.
Exactly, yep.
Wonderful. All right. We have no executive session tonight, so at this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion we adjourn.
Second?
All right, we have a motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, 3-0. The time is 6:50 PM.